As the 2018-2019 school year comes to a close, about 2 million students are expected to earn their bachelor's degrees. So, what's next? We're here now with James Tarbox. He is the Executive Director of Career Services at San Diego State University. Thank you.
Thank you.
So, what would you tell a graduate about what it will take to be successful in, quote, the real world?
That's an excellent question. I think one of the biggest misconceptions that students have, especially in an age where everything's available through an app or online, is that the online job boards are probably the best place to go to apply for positions. And although that can have truth, what they need to know is of those 2 million graduates, approximately 14,000 are applying for every position online. So you've got to really learn to separate yourself. So we're going to kind of go back to basics. And what we're going to do is we're going to really encourage them to understand what do they want from their career, and how are they going to communicate that to an employer, and building a pipeline where they can do that with an employer.
So, do you have any idea how many students here at San Diego State University have already lined up jobs?
We do. We do an at-graduation survey. We've been doing these for about 12 years now. And so this year's class, about 40% are telling us that they're employed at graduation. However, and this is really important, and it's why I started off with the advice on the online job boards, is that we are seeing a much higher number in terms of those who are actively seeking. That could be for two reasons. One is they could just be starting their job search now, or two, they haven't qualified in terms of the requirements that employers have. So they're getting into the job market and they're realizing I need to do a lot more to get myself up to speed.
They have this four-year degree. What makes them more hireable? Like, what do they need to say to sell themselves?
Sure. So what would make them more marketable is if they've done something like an internship. And you need to know that approximately 5% of students who've been reporting to our survey are saying, in essence, I don't feel like I'm prepared right now. I'm going to actually take the next few months to either do an internship to qualify for a job, or I'm going to take the next 6 months to qualify for applying to graduate school. So they really need to focus on those activities that allow them to show that in addition to the bachelor's degree, they've really committed themselves to their career and to what comes next in their life.
And what does the job market look like right about now for a recent graduate?
It looks really good and it looks really competitive. So let me tell you about the really good piece first. NACE, the National Association of Colleges and Employers, had predicted that there'd be, I think it's a 2% drop for the class of 2019 from the class of 2018. They did a May revise, and in the May revise, they actually ticked it up, I think, to 11%. So, wow, that's really great news. The flip side of that is it's super competitive. I mentioned that for every job that's open right now, because we have all these job boards, employers are seeing upwards of 10,000 applicants per position. So you've got to really find a way to set yourself apart.
Who should go to graduate school?
Who should go to graduate school? I would say someone who should go to graduate school would be someone who's given it a lot of thought and understands that in terms of my career path, this is a good next step. So for example, someone who's really invested in research, and at San Diego State there are lots of opportunities to do that. So if you've worked with a professor, you've co-authored a paper, you've done some significant research and you've qualified yourself, I think that's an excellent next step for you. If you're delaying the process of searching for a job and you have debt and you're not quite sure which degree you want, but you're going to go with the undergraduate major and do the master's level program, it's probably not good for you, and it's not going to be very good for your career at all.
Just some lasting advice. To stand out among 10,000 applicants seems like a very lofty task. What would you say are some of the key things that people should do, or maybe mistakes or things that they don't realize they should do?
So one of the big things that they can do is, and just as a shameless plug, our career fairs are free to all of our alumni for life. They can come at any time that they want to. We offer 9 a year. What they need to be aware of is any career fair is an opportunity for an employer to look at you, to get your resume, and to make a decision if they're going to interview you. So if a student is at a career fair or a networking mixer for a professional association and they meet someone who has an opportunity, be sure to ask, would you mind interviewing me for the opportunity? If you don't ask, you likely won't get interviewed. So that's a big piece. The other piece is, this harkens back to the advice that I offered earlier, which is really understand where you want to take your career and understand the industry and occupation that you want to get into, and be able to talk about how that excellent education, how that internship, how that part-time job, how that volunteer or service learning experience prepared you and allows you to talk the language of the employer and allows you to emphasize those transferable skills that are going to make you an excellent candidate.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.